Good morning, good Erev Shabbos. Special greetings to our soldiers at Fort Jackson and Shaw Air Force Base and everybody watching our video. A man named Korach appears in this week's Torah portion and attempts to lead a mutiny against Moses and Aaron. So who was Korach and how did he become so misguided? Now, at first glance, Korach seemed to be fighting for equality. He challenged Moshe and Aaron and said, "The entire community is holy. Why do you elevate yourselves above everyone else? What makes you so special?" Now, it sounds noble. It sounded democratic. But Moses understood that something deeper was going on here. Korach was not really arguing for a world without leaders. He wanted to be the leader. His rebellion was not a search for truth. It was a struggle for power. The sages of the Talmud teach that there are two kinds of arguments. One is an argument for the sake of heaven, a disagreement motivated by a sincere desire to discover the truth. The other is an argument not for the sake of heaven, an argument driven by ego, by ambition, and a desire to win. Korach became the classic example of the second. Moses proposed a simple test. You know what, Korach, let's let God decide. But even after Korach and his followers were dramatically punished, the controversy did not end. The people continued to complain. Why? Because power can silence opponents, but it cannot heal division. Then God revealed a different sign, another sign. Aaron's staff miraculously blossomed with almond flowers and fruit. Now, why did God choose a flowering branch? Perhaps because true leadership is not about control. It's about bringing life, growth, blessing, and hope. The role of the priest was never to dominate others. It was to serve them and connect them to God. The blossoming staff taught a powerful lesson. Leadership is not self-promotion. It is selflessness. The sages contrast Korach with the school of Hillel and Shammai, who disagreed constantly, like many rabbis. Yet their debates became sacred because they listened to one another with humility. They cared more about truth than about being right. In fact, the Talmud says that Hillel's opinions were often accepted because his students taught the views of their opponents, Shammai, before teaching their own. In every generation, we face the choice between truth and victory. When we argue to win, everyone loses. But when we argue to learn, even disagreement becomes holy. The story of Korach reminds us that greatness is not measured by how loudly we speak or how many followers we have. It is measured by our willingness to listen, to grow, and to pursue truth with humility. That is what it means to engage in an argument for heaven. Have a wonderful week. Shabbat Shalom.